All right, welcome back to another one of our film reviews. Today we are talking Kansas City Chiefs rookie linebacker Jeffrey Bassa. Bassa had a really good performance in the Chiefs' second preseason game against the Seattle Seahawks. He showcased exactly why the Chiefs are so high on him, and we'll break down everything he did so well in his second preseason game. As always, in the comment section below, give us any feedback, put any other guys you want us to break down. But without further ado, let's jump right into the film. All right, let's open up the run defense, and there's Bassa, number 31, right there on the left side of your screen. So we're ending up in a goal line, short yardage kind of situation. You can see there's the goal line right there. The Chiefs are trying to defend. It's going to be a downhill running concept here for the Seattle Seahawks. We're going to get a double team right here between the center and left guard, working up to the next level. We're going to get a base block there. We're going to get kind of a double team right here, just sort of these two guys handling those two guys. We're going to get going out here, fanning out there. And basically, because it's short yardage, they're saying, listen, this running back right here, you're going to have to handle one of these linebackers by yourself. This double team should get one of them, but you've got to figure out which guy isn't going to be blocked and make a miss. And the way this works out is 31 Bassa right here. He's the guy that goes unblocked, and he fires in here and makes a great play, saves a touchdown. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see the double team right there. They're working up to number 50. You can see right guard, right tackle, basing out. You can see left tackle, tight end, basing out there on the left side of your screen. Bassa unblocked. Got to make the play. Fires in there, gets it done, 2-yard loss. Again, he's unblocked, right? He's got all this green grass to play with. This is a check the box kind of play, right? If you're going to play linebacker in the National Football League and you're down here near the goal line and they intentionally leave you unblocked, I'm assuming it's intentionally because they're assuming that the running back can win this matchup, can make you miss or break your tackle or whatever it may be. You've got to make the play, right? The offense is saying, our running back is better than you. You as a linebacker got to say, you're wrong, I'm better than him. And Bassa does it here. Again, I know he's unblocked, but this is not necessarily an easy tackle. Look at all this green grass. It's like an open field tackle in a punt return game right here. But there's one guy. It's you, him, touchdown or not. And he makes the play, 2-yard loss. This was second and goal, I believe, from the 3-yard line, right? They're getting close to scoring. It ends up being third and goal from the 5. They end up forcing him into an incomplete pass. This is a really nice play. These kind of plays right here, checking the box, it doesn't seem like much, doesn't seem like a high degree of difficulty, but when you can execute like this, when the opportunity is there, that gives your coaches excited because that means they know they can count on you.
Yeah, and if we look week to week, it's looking really good for Bassa, a guy known for good run defense in college. We looked week 1 versus Arizona, a little bit shaky, maybe a little nerves there. 45.5 run defense grade for him there. But coming week 2 into Seattle really takes things up a notch. 66.3 run defense grade for him here, really up in it, and also an 80.3 tackling grade. Really great numbers so far in the preseason for Bassa.
All right, sticking with the run defense, there's Bassa right there, lined up in more of a middle linebacker kind of alignment. So the Seattle Seahawks are going to run a power concept. They're going to get a double team right here, working up to the backside linebacker. They're going to have the center block back. They're going to have the tight ends right here, basically double team everyone down inside, trying to work up to the next level as well. They're going to have the guard try and wrap for the play sign linebacker, fullback to kick out this in man on the line of scrimmage right here. It basically becomes a big mass of humanity, but by design, the Seahawks want basically a seal here, and they want the fullback to seal here, and the guard to lead through just like that. That's the idea. Here is a linebacker. You can see he's mirroring number 35. You got to do a great job here in this position, staying on 35. Don't over pursue, don't under pursue, avoid the trash and make the tackle. That's exactly what he does. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see the double team inside right there for Seattle. You can see the backside guard pulling, fullback trying to kick out the in man on the line of scrimmage. Like I said, it ends up being a big old mass of humanity. But sometimes this makes it hard to play linebacker, right? A lot of bodies flying around you. You stick your head in the wrong direction, and the running back can pop out of there for a big play. Let's look at 31. Avoids a trash, makes a tackle. That's how it's done, folks. Again, is it perfect? Is it, a 3-yard tackle for loss? Is it a hit stick kind of thing? It's going to put you in the Hall of Fame? Of course not. But it's just good, solid, fundamental linebacker play, right? And that's what you need from a rookie. Bassa's a very talented guy. He showcased a lot of good skill sets in college. But a lot of times for these rookies, it's how do you do the routine plays? How do you do the ordinary plays? This is a situation not too dissimilar from the first play where a good quality NFL linebacker gets it done. You avoid the trash, make the tackle. Nice work. From the wide copy, you can see Bassa right there. Watch him again. Recognize, react, avoid the trash, make the play. You can see, guys, it's pretty clear. He is mirroring this running back, keying on him the entire way. And as the running back starts moving up the field, he moves with him. See how he uses his hands to avoid the trash? I love that. Again, he doesn't just throw his head in there just trying to make a pile or try and make a play too early, right? He doesn't shoot his shot prematurely. He's patient, methodical, waits for the right opportunity, and then makes a tackle. All right, sticking with the run defense, there's Bassa right there, of course, number 31 on the right side of your screen. Again, we're going to be in a goal line short yardage situation. You can see there's a goal line right there. The Seahawks are right around the 5-yard line. This is a situation where if you're one of these linebackers and you have an opportunity to fire to make the play and disrupt, you have to, right? You don't want to be too aggressive, let's say, when the offense is at midfield, because if you guess wrong, you give up a 50-yard play. Here, they're already at the 5-yard line, right? They don't have far to go. You've got to be more aggressive. And this is a great example of it right here. So what the Seahawks are trying to do is they're going to try and get a double team right here on the center right guard, working up to Bassa right here. We saw earlier in the play when Bassa was over here as the backside linebacker going unblocked. This time, they're trying to block him, but he does a great job showing off his athletic skill set. He sees the double team happening. He sees a split right here. He sees the guard go this way. He sees the tackle go that way, and he sees the running back go that way, and he fires, helps blow up the play, forces a running back into his defensive help. Nice play from Bassa. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. We can see the double team right there. You can see Bassa. He's already firing downhill. You see the running back. Look at this hole right here. So right here, this is where the running back wants to go. He wants to go right off this right guard spot. Right there is where he wants to go. But Bassa flying right there. Running back sees 31. He bounces it to the other side, right into the defensive help. No touchdown. Again, this is what you have to do near the goal line. When the opportunities are there, you have to strike. The time to be patient is not when the team is about to score, guys. Again, they're right there. If you're too patient, they fall to you and fall into the end zone, that's going to happen. You got to make sure right there, right tackle goes out, left guard goes in, fly downhill. That's exactly what Bassett does. Forces him back into his help. Again, he doesn't make the tackle, doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but being assertive, being aggressive, I love to see that in the red zone. And once you force a running back to cut back, you can see how the Seahawks offensive line, they're trying to seal people off. See how they're all hoping to cut off the backside there? When the running back cuts back, it makes it hard for the offensive line. In fact, there was almost a holding penalty on the tight end right here. That's the other thing. When you're disruptive like this, like Bassa, you'll get these offensive linemen and tight ends in awkward positions, and you'll get a few of those holding calls. Again, not on the stat sheet, not anything that'll show up in terms of the highlight reel, but really good job by 31.
Yeah, Nick, but when you do talk about stats for Bassa, an interesting thing pops up. You look at his college career, one stat that we love is stops, which are losses for the offense. Average about 1.4 stops per game in his college career. But we're looking at Bassa now, already 5 stops through his first 2 preseason games. Not necessarily indicative of future success, but it's looking really good early on for Jeffrey Bassa.
All right, next play here, you can see Boston number 31 right there on the right side of your screen. So here the CNL Seahawks are going to run a draw. They're going to have the right tackle sell pass and then block out this way. Right guard sell pass and block that direction. They're going to have the center sell pass, help that way, try and work up to the linebacker, sell pass block, and then hand it off to the running back after they try and, get the defense to think it's a pass play. Now, the situation here with Bassa, he's going to fire right here. I think this is by design. I think this is design blitz. So he comes in thinking he's going to rush the passer and get to the quarterback. That's his whole design. He almost overruns the play a little bit, but I love how he slows himself down. Again, it takes a lot to control your body, react, and not over-aggressively pursue the running back. Allows him to make the play for a big tackle for loss, one of those stops we just talked about. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see Bassa firing. It looks like pass right now. Bassa's coming in. He's thinking, I'm going to get the quarterback. And right there, he's like, oh, my goodness, it's a draw. So he has to kind of like screech on the brakes right there. So he reacts, breaks down, slows down, makes a tackle. Again, he's unblocked, guys. I understand it's one of those situations. It's a check-the-box kind of play, right? Like I say all the time. Listen, you're unblocked in this situation. You got to make the tackle. But I can't tell you how many times I've seen in the preseason, even from veteran guys, right? Because preseason, it is chaos to the 10th degree. There are bodies flying all over the place. The schemes aren't really there. You got backups playing against 4th-stringers, starters against 3rd-stringers, right? It is all kinds of crazy, right, going on right now. It's preseason football, some of its wackiest. And I can't tell you how many times I see linebackers, defensive ends, safeties. They're so chaotic. They fly up the field and miss everyone and fall flat on their face. And right here, the young linebacker almost does it, but good body control, makes a tackle. One of the things that's really impressive about 31 is that he just does all the little things you expect. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes, right? He's like a young quarterback that already understands to read the defense and hit the check down. Just do the ordinary plays, and when the opportunities are there to make the extraordinary, you can get it done. Bright future right here for 31. From the wide copy, you get a really good look at it right here. So I think this is design blitz right here. You can see, I think the safety is man-to-man on the tight end. They're firing Bassa in here to try and get to the quarterback. He times up on his blitz right there, and right there he stops. Oh, it's a draw. Got to bounce it outside and make the tackle. Now, the Chiefs defensively did not have a good day, right? So I think that's a whole part of it, and we'll cover some of that in just a second. But I think when you look at 31, he was definitely a bright spot, doing the little things, doing the ordinary things. A lot of these backups, a lot of these young guys for the Chiefs didn't do a lot of the ordinary things, didn't do a lot of the basic fundamental things, and they look bad against the Seattle Seahawks. But Bassa wasn't one of those guys. He had a really nice day for the front seven. All right, here the Chiefs are going to blitz, and there's Bassa right there lined up with a double A-gap pop, as they like to say. Both linebackers walked up in the A-gaps. The A-gaps, for those of you who aren't familiar, is this gap between the center and the guards right there. B-gaps would be between the guard and tackles, and the C-gap would be outside the tackles, just like that. So here you can see the Chiefs, they got a lot of people lined up at the line of scrimmage, and they're going to bring them, right? 91's coming. Defensive, I believe it's number 90's coming. 43's coming, 31's coming, everybody's coming. And what the Chiefs do here is a very standard blitz in this situation. What they have right here is by alignment, you can see that this center is probably going to take him and this running back is going to take Bassa like this, right? So what they do, and most teams do this in this situation, is they take the linebacker that's on the running back side and they say, I want you to pick the center, shove him down inside. The running back will come with you. You'll pick off the center, and this linebacker will loop around unblocked and kill the quarterback, right? That's the design. It's very basic kind of stuff in terms of this blitz look. And here Bassa does a really good team thing, right? He's a very coachable player. But in situations, sometimes you need to be a playmaker. And I think this is one of those things he'll learn through more preseason. He's so hyper-focused on this chip that if he just puts his foot in the ground and makes a play, I think he gets a sack. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see that everyone's firing for the Kansas City Chiefs. You can see Bassa right here. He is going to go into the center to try and pick him so the linebacker can go around. Linebacker can't get through, though. He actually gets washed down across the formation. Bad job right here. Who is that? 43. That can't cut it, right? If you're the guy looping around this linebacker, you've got to get to the quarterback. And if you get blown across like this, this is what happens. Huge plays. This is indicative of the Chiefs defensively all game long. 43 did not have a good day for the Kansas City Chiefs. But right here, Bassa, one thing is I think he's so hyper-focused on doing his job and doing what the coaches told him that if he just kind of just turns his head and works through the running back, I think he has a chance to make the play here. But he's so focused on making sure he does his assignment, which isn't a bad thing per se, but sometimes I want to see young playmakers be just that, playmakers. Going forward, I want to see them, again, you want to do your job, but also be a little focused as well on trying to make the play in your own right.
Yeah, Nick, and I think in one thing you look at Bassa's history coming from college, what he's done so far in the NFL, is that's something he definitely can work on, is his pass rush. Coming out of college, that's where he's a little bit weaker, not too bad, a 68.2 pass rush grade versus a 73.2 run defense grade. Looking already at his NFL career, although short 2 preseason games, he really could pick up his pass rush, 53.8 overall pass rushing grade so far. So I think although he's done really well, this is one thing he could focus on, work on a little bit better, making plays in the pass rush.
All right, let's talk about a really bad play for the Chiefs defense that wasn't Bassa's fault. And this is what happens a lot of times in the preseason. There's Bassa right there on the left side of your screen, number 31. So this is going to be a standard inside zone concept working to the offensive right, the left side of your screen. So we're going to get a zone block there. We're going to get a reach block here from the center. We're going to get a zone double team right here with the guard working up to 43 and the fullback working up to 31 and the running back falling through just like this where we can find a hole. Now, how this is supposed to work offensively is they want to get 31 in this defensive end and these two guys here right there dislocated or reached, right? So what ends up Bassa having to do here as the fullback works up to him, his job is to sort of set the edge, right? Almost like he's defensive end, create an opportunity for the running back to cut back behind him. Don't let this hole keep expanding. He wants to create a hard edge to the defense so that way his pursuit guys can make the play. And he does his job here. The problem is 43 gets blown out of the way and 92 gets embarrassingly reached. It results in a big run against the Chiefs defense. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see the zone tracks across the board. Look at this reach by number 92. I mean, that can't happen. That's number one. Let's look at 43 here. Guard on him. Just slingshots him, what, all the way outside the defensive end? That can't happen. Look at this hole, guys. My goodness gracious. That cannot happen. But here's the thing. It's running right at Bassa. You watch the broadcast footage. You say, oh, the play side linebacker didn't do his job. But he takes on the fullback. He sets the edge, right? He forces the running back to cut back. He does his job, right? That's what it's about sometimes defensively. Run fits, right? If one linebacker gets blown out of the way and one defensive tackle gets reached, it doesn't matter how well you do your job, right? You need good team defense. And the Chiefs starters and the regulars play good team defense. There's obviously a lot of guys that aren't going to be NFL players, and except for maybe Gelati, maybe Omenihu, and maybe even Bassa when it's all said and done. Who knows? A lot of these guys aren't going to be playing, or at least hopefully aren't going to be playing meaningful snaps for the Kansas City Chiefs. But Bassa here, again, good team player. He does his job. Long run, not his fault in this situation. All right, from the wide copy, you get a really good look at it right here. Watch this center completely reach this defensive tackle. I mean, this can't happen, guys. I mean, that's how you lose games. That's how you give up 40 points in the Super Bowl, right? I'm not saying like that's this guy's fault, but this kind of thing is how you get killed, right? That cannot happen. How about this offensive guard getting up to this linebacker and just blowing him out of the hole? I mean, you're the middle linebacker and you end up what? Outside the defensive end? Good Lord, look at that crease. But right here, number 31, Bassa does his job. Fullback on him. He leads into the hole, does a good job, doesn't give up any ground, just stones the fullback right at the point of attack. Again, sets the edge. Look at the edge of the defense. They want this running back to cut back. The problem is the defensive tackle gets reached, linebacker gets slingshotted out of the way, and even the backside linebacker. Let's look at the backside linebacker here. He can't fight through any of this trash either. He gets cut off too. I mean, give credit where credit is due. This was well blocked by the Seattle Seahawks, poorly defended by the Kansas City Chiefs, but the rookie, number 31, he does his job. This is actually good run defense from Bassa. All right, on the previous play, we showed bad run defense by Kansas City. Let's end on some good run defense. You can see Bassa right there on the left side of your screen, the right side of the Chiefs defense. It's going to be another zone blocking scheme for the Seattle Seahawks offensive front, more of an outside zone concept. So we're going to get a zone double team right here on the defensive end. We're going to get a reach block here. We're trying to get cutoff blocks here on the backside, working up to the next level. Fullback, once again, is going to try and get up to 31. Running back's going to take more of a wide zone path, but cut back like he just did on the previous play. But this time, the interior, these guys right here, do a much better job. Bassa does his job and then makes the play as well. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. We can see the zone tracks across the board. Watch the pursuit on the defense here. You see how 59 almost gets reached, but he keeps working, working. He actually ends up getting pancaked a little bit there. It creates a mass of humanity, but he at least doesn't get completely cut off. What happens to 43? He gets blocked and thudded up there, but at least he doesn't get completely slingshotted, right? And he's actually play off and be part of the tackle. This is better, guys. Backside linebacker is able to pursue a little bit. Better run defense. But again, play side, you got to set the edge right here. This time the tight end gets up to him instead of the fullback. Tight end gets to him first. You can see how he sets the edge right there, plays off the block, makes a tackle. This is much better team defense. And again, Bassa doing his job right there. Engaging, maintaining his gap. I love how he keeps his feet, shoulders, head parallel to line of scrimmage. That's what I always look for. Great extension, and then make the tackle. Again, is it perfect? Is it all pro? Is it, hey, am I going to give him a first ballot Hall of Famer? No, but it's just good fundamental defense. And that's what we saw from Bassa in terms of run defense the entire game. And that's one of the things that makes me really excited about his prospect with the Kansas City Chiefs. He's just a solid overall fundamental defender in the run defense game. Like we mentioned, he really needs to get better when it comes to pass rush, but as a defender against the run in the box, he can do a lot of good things. I think he'll play a lot of special teams. I think as a situational linebacker, he'll get better and better as the Chiefs look to improve their run defense game.